You are a unique individual with the power to change lives just by doing what you do, being who you are, sharing your wisdom, and telling your story. Welcome, everybody, to Jen's Pen Live, where we find interesting people who make the world a better place, and we ask them to share their story. Today, we are talking with Elizabeth Cruz. Elizabeth is a realtor, and she is also the president of the Latin American Business Association, which is an association dedicated to increasing Latin and minority business economic prosperity and business growth in the city of Worcester, Massachusetts. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. It's the Latin American Business Organization.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. You're not the first one that. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Looking forward to this.
Yes, me too. I've been looking forward to this since we scheduled it. This is going to be a really good one. All right, so Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about your story, how you came to become the president of the Latin American Business Organization.
Sure. Just to give you a quick background, I have a computer science degree and I was a software engineer, project manager, portfolio manager, and then I ended up going into real estate because I felt like, I wanted to give back to the community. And I also did a lot of outreach to girls to make sure that they feel comfortable and consider going into science technology. So I've been, involved with girl empowerment for, I don't know, since 1992, so basically, I'm always trying to give back to the community to help them grow and just be educated so they can make better informed decisions in their lives. So with LABO, the Latin American Business Organization, I volunteer as a board member for about 2 years, but I always believe in the mission since 2016, since they got established. There is a lack of education and capital within the Latin business organization community. So basically what we're trying to do is educate them so that they know how to run a business, be sustainable, especially, during COVID, a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses just did not know how to handle that epidemic, and I think it was just in general. But I think if you did not have a good record keeping, bookkeeping, you could not apply for grants. If you didn't have good credit, then you couldn't apply for some of the emergency funds. So we learned a lot from that time that a lot of people are not prepared for a disaster or in general. I mean, you should have a good record keeping and have, make sure that you, file your taxes, that you register with the Department of Employment, all those things that you need to do as an employer and business owner as well. So how I came about becoming the president, I was the secretary, was, the founder of the organization. He's done a great job to bring the organization to this point, and he felt he needed, it's to have a change in leadership so that we can take it to the next level. And I've been working behind the scenes with him on initiating a lot of good things like the Worcester Red Sox, which is called the Worcester Sox. So we ended up with having an advisory committee to help the organization to market and attract, diversity, racial, ethnic type of groups to the park and make them feel like they belong there. So heading that organization, he realized that, it's time for a new leader to take it to the next level.
This is so cool. I didn't realize that about your work with girls too. So it really sounds like you, for a very long time, you have been into empowering and educating those who are left out of the mainstream and left behind by opportunity.
Exactly.
So yeah. How did you get into helping girls? Let's start there.
Well, as a computer science major, I was the only girl in my classroom. And I've been the type that I love to learn, and I love complex problem solving. So that didn't intimidate me. The fact that I was the only girl in the class, I would just sit in the front row and just pay attention and do my things. A lot of times, I would hear whisper like, oh, she's gonna fail, whatever. But I ended up, passing with honors and graduating with honors. And you just have to have, if I didn't have the confidence in myself, I would have dropped off because I would have felt uncomfortable. And yes, it was uncomfortable being the only female. And, sometimes the teacher would always like call me up and say, oh, try to protect me in a way to make me feel comfortable because I was the only female. But I felt like if I didn't have that determination, that self-esteem, and that like I'm going to do it regardless, and forget all the ignored all the noise around you, then I would have just quit. I would have said, forget it, this is not for me. And the fact that it was math and stuff, and they feel like girls are not good in math and science, so I kind of just proved them wrong. So I felt I needed to be a role model for girls, to let them know that besides being nurturing, which is our nature, right? About being social worker, teachers, why not think of doing something that you want to do, like technology, science and that kind of thing.
That's amazing. I mean, just to be able to have that confidence going into that. I mean, I know it's intimidating for so many people, and girls are taught, to doubt themselves in just about everything, right? So how do you think you found that in yourself?
I think it was more, I always believe in myself, and I always used to share this with my sisters, being the youngest one, that if you want to do something, you can do it if you put yourself to it. And it might take you longer than the other person, but you can do it. It might take you shorter time. At the end of the day, if you're determined to do it, you will do it.
So what kind of work have you done with girls?
Well, I also was a board of directors for the YWCA. So in that, we had a Girls' Choice program, which was basically mentoring girls from low, I wouldn't say from mid to high school, that had a potential of dropping off because they didn't have a role model. So we would mentor them and teach them about how to budget, and and give them a lot of incentives and encouragement, and uplift them, and let them know that they can do whatever they want, they set their mind to. So that was a great experience because being able to talk to a girl at that level, and especially Latinas, they have, like I had this one girl that she had this really street attitude, like, oh, I'm going to beat them up, blah, blah, blah. So the mentor for that person wasn't as aggressive with them, that I felt like I would pull them aside and say, what thrill, what are you getting out of being like that? What are you going to get out of beating this girl up? So I make them really think and ask them tough questions that they didn't even know the answer why they were doing what they were doing. But somebody had to just like really make them realize, what are you gaining from it? You're not gaining anything, and is there an underlying issue that you perhaps want to show that you're tough because you want people to like and respect you, but that's not the way to go about it. So, I learned a lot how to really just talk to them at that level. And just ask them questions that they perhaps didn't even know the answer, but they went searching for it. So I think, if, like I said, management and mentoring is not the same across the board. You just need to try to, there's different ways to sort of motivate and encourage people. The same thing doesn't apply to everyone. So I just felt like, especially Latinas, that you had to go a different route on some of them. Some of them were eager to get to that level, just need a role model, needed to sense that it was true, that they can get to that level. But others, they just still had that mindset that really, it was kind of a little bit hard to break through, but they were starting to realize that, they can do better, and that they really need to pay attention to their actions because there are consequences for that.
Yeah, I mean, and that has mostly to do with the environment, unfortunately, that you're raised in and you're just born into that. So it's amazing that you were able to reach out to people who aren't as advantaged as some others, to encourage them and show them that they can, you know, make something of themselves and apply themselves and get where they want in life. That's so awesome. And I thank you for that work.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's talk about the Latin American Business Organization. You became involved with them, you said 2016?
I was always, you know, supportive. I would do they do like, we have a flagship event once a
Mhm.
year where we do the Latin American business event, where we have a lot of business organization there to do business to business, educate people, bring them customers and that kind of thing. So I was always engaged in those events, and I was
Mhm.
always a vendor exhibitor for those events. But behind the scenes, I was very supportive. And then, like I said, 2 years ago, I got on the board. I became the secretary, and, you know, helped the president with coming up with strategic planning, you know, for the 3-5 year plan, and to get it to that next level. You know, the founders didn't, I mean, came up with this really needed cause that need to be resolved, and there was nothing like this in here in Massachusetts. So,
Right.
I mean, they came up with this brilliant idea, which, you know, they brought it to where it is right now. They built the foundation, and now we just need to take it to the next level.
That's so exciting. So when is this your once a year event?
So we were going to do it last year, October, because of
Okay.
COVID.
Right.
It's been like 2 years we haven't had it, but we're having one October 30th at the DCU in Worcester. So it
You'll
should
have
be really
to,
exciting.
we'll have to have
Yes.
you back on to promote that. You
Thank you.
know,
Thank you.
that's in a few months though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so
And
when you got involved, had you already transitioned into real estate, or were you
yes,
still
I've
in?
been doing real estate since 1992. So
Oh,
I was
92.
doing both.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
been doing IT and real estate at the same time. It's two different satisfaction. You know, creating a software, putting it out there, rolling it out, you know, to the consumers or the customers or internal customers is different than finding a home for first-time home buyer or an investor, or helping them with 1031 exchange. Two different satisfaction, and I like doing both. But eventually I had to pick one or the other, right? As you get family and kids. So I said, all right, I'm going to lean more towards consulting in the IT side. So I had a consulting business that I would just do projects, 3 months project or whatever, and then I would do more real estate.
Oh, excellent. And real estate is a passion for you, because you're helping people. What about it? What about helping people? What kind of help do you feel most satisfied in
I
giving?
think, you know, the fact that, you know, it's the American dream and
Mhm.
everybody wants a piece of it. And also you build in generational wealth, and, you know, you build in financial freedom. And I always encourage, I have an empowering women through real estate program that I empower women to become landladies. Um,
Oh,
so
that's excellent.
yeah, so basically I manage 26 units. I have my own property management company. So I've been, you know, involved with evicting folks, with, you know, a lot of lessons learned. And I try to bring that knowledge and experience to my clients, especially women who want to be landladies. And I tell them, this is from my experience. You need to do X, Y, Z. You need to really vet the tenants in, and nowadays is easier than ever. You just go to Facebook, Instagram, and you already know who they are. So,
Right.
so basically, you know, it's a matter of giving them the confidence that, you know, just because your brother-in-law had a really bad tenant and they didn't pay the rent for 9 months, and, you know, they destroy the apartment, that shouldn't deter you from being a landlady, especially if you have a good system in place. So I encourage them to look into building generational wealth and, you know, financial freedom, and then just continue to invest in multifamilies, and eventually they can sell all those multifamilies and then basically be able to buy a small strip mall, which is less tenants, more money, and
Mhm.
so on. So it's
Which
just
is
the
key.
path that I show them. Exactly.
So going back, because something you said is really interesting to me. So everybody in the Latin American business organization is looking to take it to the next level. Are you looking to expand your area, or what is the next level to you guys?
So the next level is have paying staff. Right now it's all volunteer work. We have a lot of committees that are executing a lot of the stuff. We want to be able to have a hub center, like a business center for all business owners to come and utilize, whether they need to create a business plan or they just need an advice on, they want to grow their business, they need capital, where can they get capital? Or even, what happened to COVID, that we had, a lot of people had to fill out PPP forms. They had no idea what to do. Right. And during COVID, our organization was present. That was the time where we felt we need to go back, go to our members and go to the business owners and find out how they're doing, what they need. We did a lot of Zoom seminars with showing them how to fill out these forms, what type of grants were out there, and so on. So we want to take it to the next level where we have a hub where people can come and get advice on how to grow the business, start their business, make it more sustainable, and be able to utilize the resources. So our vision is to be the go-to resource for Latin businesses, where if they want to be a minority business owned certified business, we would tell them, okay, we either provide the program, classes, or we tell you where to go. So that's our goal.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So do you have a story you can share about maybe one of the businesses you guys have helped along?
The businesses, yes. So one of the businesses that started with this organization helping out, they went to the first expo that we did. And from there, his business has grown substantially. So a lot of people got to know he does graphic web design, and his business got to know the community, and he is now like overwhelmed with a lot of work and a lot of, orders. And then we have another person as part of the Worcester. We had 7 Latin games where we would promote a restaurant. So we needed to bring a banner, one of those roll-up banners. And this particular member and also board member of LABO was able to help with bringing these banners to for these businesses that didn't have it, in order for them to participate in the Whipper games. And so his business just grew substantially as well. So there's many successes with people coming to our organization or events. We have network events once a month where we would basically bring someone in to talk about a topic, or just network, business to business, get to know everyone, and just really share what we're passionate about with our business. But also, like, for the first time this year, we did a end of year award for the business, Latin business, and that was really great. And then we had a great turnout, I'm sorry. Then we also did Achievement Award as well, the first time. So we're trying to implement these things to empower our businesses and show them, appreciation and that kind of thing.
That's so cool. That is such a cool initiative. I'm so glad you're doing that. I can't wait to hear more about it as you guys go to that next level. That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if someone wanted to get into, so the people watching, if they wanted to get in touch with you, either because they're a Latin or minority business owner or interested in starting a business, or they're looking for, where you're in Worcester, so your real estate business is in Worcester as well.
My office is in Shrewsbury, but we have a Worcester office.
Okay, so you could help people in Shrewsbury and Worcester find a house or an investment property, and you can help them
anywhere in Massachusetts and Connecticut.
Oh, okay. So you're licensed in Connecticut. So anywhere in Massachusetts, Connecticut, they can come to you.
Yeah.
And you obviously are really good at mentoring, and if they're new to the investment game, you can, like you were just saying, you can show them how to build their business and eventually just, again, bring it to the next level.
Exactly.
So if people wanted to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
They can reach me via my phone number, 508-769-3532. or right now I don't have my president account yet for LABOs, but they can reach me at my real estate, which is ecrealtor1@gmail.com.
ecrealtor1@gmail.com.
Or
We'll
they
put all
can go
that
to my,
information.
right, or they can go to my website, which is elizabethcruzrealtor.com.
Awesome. We're going to put all
Follow
that
me.
information.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok. I just open it, Liz Cruz Realtor 1, or Instagram as well, Liz Cruz Realtor, and Facebook.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll put all that information, the contact information, in the description of the this video. This has been so much fun, Liz. This has been great.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for all the work that you do. It's so empowering, and you're just giving back and paying it forward. And there's going to be so many more success stories that wouldn't have existed if you weren't there helping people along. So
exactly.
Fantastic. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's great to talking to you, and hopefully we can talk about writing a book.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, yes.
All right, cool. Well, everybody, thank you for Liz for coming here and giving us stories and information about all the good work that you're doing. And thank you, everybody out there who's tuned in and listening. I just want to remind you all that we all have a tale to tell. So what is yours?